Hello again. Today we will learn switch statements. A switch statement is a multiple alternative decision structure. By using a switch statement, you may test the value of a variable or an expression and use the value to determine which of the following statements or set of statements will run. General syntax of the switch statement is as seen on your screen. We have the switch and case reserved words, which you may not use within declarations of variables or names. We have an expression to test. We will test the expression, and then we have different cases. Each case has its own statements, and at the end of each statement we have the break command. The first line of the switch statement starts with the word switch, and then we put down the test expression that is enclosed in parentheses, and text expression is a variable which you will compare its value to the values within the cases. We put our switch statement in curly braces. The curly braces determine the beginning or the end of the switch statement. In a switch statement, we have one or more cases. Each case has a value, and we compare our expression with those values. If they match, the statements given below that specific case will run, and other cases will be ignored. At the end of each case, we use a break statement to compare the values of the condition we have within our switch statement. We use the values for the cases. Those values can be characters, strings, integers, etc. On the other hand, you may only compare the equalities within the cases. Greater than, smaller than cannot be used. Only cases evaluate the equalities within the given condition. When a switch statement executes, it compares the value of the test expression with the values of the cases. It runs from top to bottom, and when it finds a case value that matches the expression's value, the program runs the case statements until it reaches the break statement. After finding a matching case, the program will go to the end of the switch statement, and in case that the test expression does not match any of the given conditions, the program will run the default statement if it exists. The default case indicates that none of the above conditions given within the switch statement matches the original condition. Let's design a switch statement. Create a Java project. create a class, create your main method, let's create an integer x equals 7. Let's begin our switch statements. We write the keyword switch, we write down our expression, x, start and end the switch expression, write down your cases. Case 4, we put column and then system out print line 4 and then follow that with a break. Let's copy these. Case 6, case 7, when we run our program, since it matches this value with this one and the value in here is 7, it's gonna run this line until it reaches break and put down 7. If none of the conditions meets the requirements, we use the default case. For example, let's change this to 17 and run, not 4, 6, or 17. These cases can be extended to cover all the variables, and then in that case the default may not be used. Or in a condition where you're not interested in any other cases other than the ones you have defined, you may not use the default one. Let's solve an example. Ask the user for an integer number between 1 and 365 that represents the day of the year. For example, today is the 19th day of the year 2020. Use a switch statement to display which day of the week the user entered number corresponds. In this example, you will ask the user to enter a numeric value between 1 and 365. When the user makes an entry and presses the enter button, your switch statement will decide and display which day of the user entered number corresponds within the week, and then displays that day's name. For example, when the user enters 90, the switch statement will decide and display Monday. When the user enters 92, it's Wednesday. Don't forget to solve this question for the current year 2020. You may now stop this video, use as much time as you like, and try to solve the question by using switch. On our next video, you will find the answer for this question.